Part 3 of Horton Hears a Who on National Reading Month. Follow along.
Humped a voice? For almost 2 days you've run wild and insisted on chatting with persons who've never existed. Such carrying on in our peaceable jungle, we've had quite enough of your bellowing bungle. And I'm here to state, snapped the big kangaroo, that your silly, nonsensical game is all through. And the young kangaroo in her pouch said,
Me too.
With the help of the Wickersham brothers and dozens of Wickersham uncles and Wickersham cousins and Wickersham in-laws whose help I've engaged, you're going to be roped and you're going to be caged. And as for your dusk speck, that we shall boil in a hot steaming kettle of bezelnut oil.
Boil it?
Gasped Horton.
Oh, that you can't do. It's all full of persons. They'll prove it to you. Mr. Mayor,
Horton called.
Mr. Mayor, you've got to prove now that you're really out there. So call a big meeting, get everyone out. Make every who holler, make every who shout, make every who scream. If you don't, every who is going to end up in a bezelnut stew.
And down on the dusk speck, the scared little mayor quick called a big meeting in Whoville Town Square, and his people cried loudly. They cried out in fear.
We are here, we are here, we are here, we are here.
The elephant smiled. That was as clever as a bell. You kangaroos surely heard that very well.
All I heard,
Snapped the big kangaroo, was the breeze and the faint sound of wind through the faint distant trees. I heard no small voices, and you didn't either. And the young kangaroo in her pouch said,
Me either. Grab him!
They shouted.
And cage the big dope. Lasso his stomach with 10 miles of rope. Tie the knots tight so he'll never shake loose. Then dunk that dumb speck in the bezelnut juice.
Horton fought back with great vigor and vim, but the Wickersham gang was too manly for him. They beat him, they mauled him, they started him to death, to haul. They started to haul him into his cage, but he managed to call to the mayor,
Don't give up, I believe in you all. A person's a person, no matter how small. And you very small persons will not have to die. So if you make yourselves heard, so come on now and try.
The mayor grabbed a tom-tom. He started to smack it, and all over Whoville they whooped up a racket. They rattled tin kettles, they beat on brass pans, on garbage pan pail tops and old cranberry cans. They blew on kazoos and blasted great toots, on clarinets, oompas, and pumpas and flutes. Great gusts of loud racket rang high through the air. They rattled and shook the whole sky, and the mayor called up through the howling, mad hullabaloo, Hey, Horton, how's this? Is our sound coming through? And Horton called back,
I can hear you just fine, but the kangaroo's ears aren't as strong quite as mine. They don't hear a thing. Are you sure all you boys are doing their best? Are they all making noise? Are you sure every who down in Whoville is working? Quick! Look through your town. Is anyone shirking?
Through the town rushed the mayor from east to the west, but everyone seemed to be doing his best. Everyone seemed to be yapping or yipping. Everyone seemed to be beeping or bipping. But it wasn't enough. All this ruckus and roar, he had to find someone to help him make more. He raced through each building. He searched floor to floor. And just as he felt he was getting nowhere and almost about to give up in despair, he suddenly burst through a door, and that mayor discovered one shrieker, quite hidden away in the Fairfax Apartments, apartment 12J. In a very small shirker named Jojo was standing and bouncing a yo-yo, not making a sound, not a yip, not a chirp, and the mayor rushed inside, and he grabbed the young twerp. And he climbed with the lad up the Eiffelberg Tower. This, cried the mayor, is your town's darkest hour. This time for all who have blood that is red to come to the aid of our country, he said, We've got to make noises in greater amounts, so open your mouth, lad. Every voice counts. Thus he spoke as he climbed. When they got to the top, the lad cleared his throat, and he shouted out, "Yop!" And that yop, that one small extra yop put it over. Finally, at last, from that speck on the clover, their voices were heard. They rang out clean and clear. And the elephant smiled.
You see what I mean?
They've proved they are persons, no matter how small, and their whole world was saved by the smallest of all.
How true, yes, how true,
said the big kangaroo.
and from now on, you know what I'm planning to do.
From now on, I'm going to protect them with you. And the young kangaroo in her pouch said,
Me too.
From sun in the summer, from rain when it's fallish, I'm going to protect them no matter how smallish. The end.